Before you watch this video, please understand I spent, probably a couple hours recording, and when I went to go edit the video, I realized there was a lot of times where I thought that I stopped the video, but really I started recording the video, and when I thought I was recording, I was actually stopped. And when I went to edit, there was I wanted to still show some of the stuff I recorded. And so I did my best to try to make it as good as I could, because I thought there was still some good information in the video, even though I, wasn't recording when I thought I was. But yeah, cut me a little bit of slack, guys. Enjoy the video. Hopefully there's something in here that you can learn from. And yeah, let's move on. Welcome back for another exciting video on microgreens. This recent holiday season and all the cold weather, and I've had pipes freeze and everything, I fell way behind. A lot of that was my own laziness, but I do have a few trays that are ready to be harvested, and so I'm going to take what I have and I'm going to make a mix, and I'll use that mix at a local store and I'll sell it there. So I'm going to take what I got. This is a great way to use up your microgreens, is just to make a nice mix. It's not hard to do. I've got my my trusty bucket here that I just washed with bleach, sanitized. Same thing with my scissors here that I use. I know you guys think I should be using a knife or whatever. I'm still using scissors. My hands have been cleaned also with bleach. And I'm gonna start off by finishing off something I'd already started harvesting, which was, this is red cabbage. Can't see that all that great, but, so anyways, I'm gonna finish off that. I'll get that cut up, show you what that's like. Really? This is what I ended up with here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wash my hands again real good, and then I'll mix it all up. So I've got this spray bottle here that I use for sanitizing my trays and everything, and doesn't bother me a bit to do this. I'm going to go ahead and spray that right on my hands, turn on the hot water, and I'm going to scrub my hands really well with bleach and water. I'm sure somebody's going to chime in and say you shouldn't put bleach on your hands, and they're probably right, but hey, I'm clean. So, get that real good. Try not to spray any of that on my mix. Paper towels. Dry my hands off. And I'm going to dive in. I'm going to mix this right up. That amaranth is basically in there for color. It makes a huge difference in a mix to have a little bit of amaranth in there that just kind of makes your mix really pop, and it helps a lot with how it looks. I call this a chef's blend, and my chef's blend does not say on the label what's in it, because I want to leave it up to me to be able to put whatever I want in it. And I don't want to have to make a new label every single time my mix changes by an ingredient or whatever. So in this case, this has that spicy blend. So this has cabbage, which I grew on its own, and it's in the mix, the spicy blend mix. And I've got broccoli, kohlrabi, arugula, mustard, and the amaranth in here. So this will be a really nice looking mix. I try to give it a nice kind of, make sure I shake it up really good. And the way I'm doing this also, I'm doing it in such a small scale. This this really isn't a super valuable way to go about it. I mean, when it's all said and done, if I wasn't making the video, it'd be a little bit faster, but this is about maybe a pound worth of product here. And so I'll selling it at a store. When you're selling at a store, I have to sell it to them at a really good discount because they have to mark it up. And so for a pound, I'll end up with like $48 from all this work, which it's really not a lot of work. I can't believe how many times I've gone into a store and I've seen, you know, greens that are half rotten on the shelf, and I'm just like, how can you have that sitting there? I would never allow my product to do that. Although I gotta admit, I've been kind of late to stores before, and my microgreens might not have been sitting in an ideal spot. They're a little bit more light than I would like, and they were kind of wilted, but I'm pretty quick to try to remove those from the store shelf. Like I said before, you are your product. If your product doesn't look good, you're going to earn yourself a really not so good reputation very quickly. 2.05 ounces again. All right, let me go ahead and package up the rest of these, and I'll show you some labeling. So let's get into the labels a little bit. This is something I've touched on in the past, but I haven't really shown that well, and I get asked about it a lot. So I use these Staples brand labels, which are knockoffs of Avery, and I just print them on my home printer. I use the Avery app to design them and make them. So here I have the sheet of labels that I printed off. You can see that some basic stuff on here, like, you know, I say to wash them, just that it's a chef's blend, just some of my basic information's on here of how to contact me, and I have a stamp, date stamp. I have it set for the 5th, which is today, and I go through and I'll stamp all the ones that I'm going to be doing. So I ended up with 15 ounces, which is just under a pound. Pretty good guess. I said about a pound. This is a little bit over an ounce. I'm not going to bother labeling it. I'm just going to keep that for me, and I'll eat that. But so I have 7 packages of 2 ounces each that I'm going to do. So I'll just stamp out 7 packages worth. So I've got that now. I've got these labels. I'll just stick these on each one. Looks like my printer was off a bit on this one. On a couple of them, my printer screwed up. Well, looks like I'm going to have to do some of these over again. Figures, you know, you're making a video and your printer messes up. That doesn't typically happen. It's not really the printer, it's how it slid into it. It just wasn't lined up real well. So take those labels off and toss them. I'll remake all those. But I have a couple here that printed okay. Just to get through this video, I'll show that. And then I'll print some more after. So those 2 are done. Now I have my price stickers, and I use this super cheap stamp price thing I bought from Amazon about a year ago, and it came with a bunch of rolls of extra stickers, and it's really easy to set it. They use the same thing in grocery stores, but they use a better quality one, but this one works great for what I'm doing. It's a lot easier than going into a store and Some of the stores I go to, they let me use theirs if I want to, but I like to go in and be done. And so I have these marked at $5.99 retail. See that there? It's kind of blurry. And so I'll just mark them all at $5.99. And when I go, I'll be all set to put these on the shelf, write my invoice, cash out, and be good. I'll go back and check up on them, make sure that everything's good. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope that this was informative, and I hope it was positive, and just want to show you that not everything is always perfect, and typically that's not the case. Usually I have no issues with any of my things, but it was me slacking off, the holidays, just whatever. So yep, hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.